Good evening, everybody. Due to the COVID-19 Governor Cuomo's Executive Order number 202.1, the August 19th, 2020 District Safety Plan public hearing will be conducted remotely through electronic means using the Zoom video conference. The Board of Education action meeting will take place immediately following the District Safety Plan public hearing. That begins, this one is beginning now. The agenda for the August 19th, 2020 Board of Education action meeting will be limited only to essential items for action. The meeting will be live streamed on the district website, www.freeportschools.org. At the conclusion of the meeting, a full recording of the August 19th, 2020 District Safety Plan public hearing and the Board of Education meeting will be posted. Public comments and participation will be permitted through electronic means via email. Statements, questions should include in your full name and address and can be emailed to Mr. Roberts at freeportschools.org. All questions or statements that are not answered during the meeting will be responded to directly as necessary. With that, please everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, Robert. I pledge allegiance
to
the flag
of the United States
of America,
to the republic
for which it stands,
God,
one
under
liberty,
God, indivisible,
indivisible, with
liberty
liberty and justice
for
for
all.
all. Thank you, everybody. I now turn over to the superintendent for the superintendent report.
Yeah, thank you, President Kite. Good evening, everyone. Tonight is a public hearing relating to district-wide safety plan under Safe Schools Against Violence in Education, commonly known as SAFE legislation. Every district in New York State is required to submit their safety plan to the state before the start of the school year. And as a part of the process, the district is required to hold a public hearing to go through the different components of the district-wide safety plan. There are many elements that are prescribed by the law and then also as required by the guidelines that we get every year from the state education department. All those elements are included in the plan, and we're going to present the plan briefly. That will include the different drills, evacuation, shelter, lockdown, lockout procedures, contacts, and also tonight, as much that's not required, we're going to walk you through with the security enhancements that we have made throughout the district, and what we continue to propose making those changes. The plan has been available for public comment for the past 30 days on our website. At this time, I'll turn this over to our Assistant Superintendent for Business, Salvatore Carambia, to do a presentation of the plan. Mr. Carambia.
Good evening, and thank you, Dr. Cutchin. Okay, so as Dr. Cutchin mentioned, there's a requirement for school districts to implement a safety plan. And that plan, it actually, the law was amended back in 2001. So it's been in existence for 19 years. The law is established to provide safety, health, and security of both students and staff, and allows for input from the entire school community. It also includes tactical strategies for responding to critical events, such as building evacuations and sheltering. The time requirements, as Dr. Cutchin said, the The plan's been on our website for 30 days. That's one of the requirements. And actually, back in June, this plan started to be worked on and once again was completed for July. We're having the hearing this evening. And then in September, then next week, we're going to adopt the district-wide plan. And then we're going to upload the information to the website, which is our URL link to our website. Some of the main components in the plan, I'm not going to read every one of them, but major ones, including the requirements for the drills, are a lockdown drill, evacuation drill, a shelter-in-place drill, a lockout drill. We also need to have district-wide hazard identification, disaster mental health services, procedures pertaining to bomb threats, hostage taking, intrusions, and kidnapping. We also need to establish building level post-incident response team, establish an emergency response team, and establish the building levels safety teams also. Members of the district-wide staff team include the following: myself, the Director of Security, Director of Facilities, Director of Food and Nutritional Services, Director of Health, Physical Education, and Athletics, the Assistant Business Administrator, the Assistant Supervisor of Transportation, all the principals except Columbus, assistant principals, excuse me, except Columbus, the principal at Columbus, and a nurse teacher. The drills, here are the drills that need to be taken place: evacuation drill, fire drills, shelter in place, lockdown drills, and a lockout drill. This is our organizational chart, which is part of the documentation going up to the state. We have our leader, Dr. Kish Kutchum, myself, the principals, the Director of Security, Mr. Anthony Felice, Director of Facilities, Mr. Kevin Randazzo, and we currently have 36.5 FTEs of security folks throughout the district, and it is listed by building. Here is the list of our emergency notification list by building. I'm not going to go through all the names. Just to add, at Atkinson, we updated it for Ms. Campbell-Ham, who is our new principal there. The building level emergency response plans. Once again, by building, they are required to come up with a plan. It's similar to the same guideline as the district-wide plan. They worked on it over the summer. It is sent to my office during the month of July. The plan will be submitted after we submit the district-wide plan in September. Once again, those cannot be handed out. They are available at the principal's office, the superintendent's office, and my office. Main components of the plan include the following. It's a detailed list. I'm not going to read each one of them, but once again, these are the main requirements that we must address in our plan. Members of the building level safety team will include a combination of the following: principal, assistant principal, building nurse, a custodian, teacher representative, a security aide, secretary, social worker, a guidance counselor, and the community member. The purpose of this team is to create, monitor, and update the building level emergency response plan. Members of the building level emergency response will include the following. The purpose of this team is to respond and react to all emergency situations. The principal, assistant principal, a nurse, basically the same list: a custodian, teacher, security aide, social worker, psychologist, a law enforcement member, and fire officials. Members of the building level post-incident response team will include a combination of the following. The purpose of this team is to debrief, analyze each emergency situation after the situation has occurred, and make recommendations for procedural improvements. And those members include the principal, assistant principal, social worker, the psychologist, and a nurse. As Dr. Cutchum mentioned earlier, these are some of the items that were completed in the past. We installed 600 cameras, both inside and outside to our buildings. We installed a district-wide Nighthawk monitoring system, an intercom system, two-way radios, social media monitoring, and a security patrol vehicle. We also implemented an anonymous alert reporting system for the high school in Dodd. Security entry vestibules were installed at the high school, Dodd, Giblin, and Archer. We also implemented a visitor management system at all main school entrances and main entrances at the Central Administration Building. We also installed door ajars. These are sensors installed at all 8 school buildings and Central Administration to alert building if an exit door is left open for more than a specified period of time. New classroom doors, hardware were installed at Columbus. New windows were installed at Dodd Middle School. We have a one-button lockdown system. This allows, with the touch of one button, to quickly communicate in terms if there's a lockdown situation via the following ways. Call to automatically made to call center and 911. Both at Nassau and Freeport police will be notified, alerting them that there is a lockdown. PA system announces to all that the building is in a lockdown. Computer takeover. Computer screens go black and announcements roll over to computer screens regarding a lockdown. School messenger, text messages, and audio messages sent out to specific groups to notify them of a lockdown. Strobe lights are positioned on the exterior of the building in areas where PA is hard to hear to alert individuals about a lockdown. Card access system. Card access system is disabled, so no one can enter the building at that time. There are 3 more lockdown items at the other buildings. 5 main entrance security vestibules at Columbus, Atkinson, Bayview, New Visions, and Central Administration will be completed sometime later this year. We received approval in this August. New classroom doors and hardware at Giblin. We got approval, and once again, they will be installed at some point this year. And that's the end of the presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Karambia. Members of the board, President Kite, any questions? And also, Mr. Roberts, are there any questions from the public, please?
Take the questions from the public first.
Sure, just give me 1 second, Dr. Cutchum, I'm gonna pull up my email. They may be for the board meeting specifically, so I'll see if there's any safety questions
Okay.
on the presentation. Okay. I do not have any questions on the regard to the safety presentation, Dr. Cutchum or President Kite.
Right. Yeah, and also, if I may say, I know there are community members, they're viewers right now. If you have any questions, please feel free to send your question through the Q&A chat box, right? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. We're here from the board members. We'll start off first with the VP, Ms. Lancaster.
Ms. Lancaster, you have to unmute, please.
That's okay. All right. Any other board members? Doesn't, it's no particular,
Mr. Carter, I have a few questions.
Right.
Not too many.
May I, Ms. Castillo, may I interfere? I'm sorry.
Sure.
There, in the question box, there is someone indicating that I received a call about the meeting about the kindergarten. Yes, we have a reopening of schools plan meeting starting at 7 o'clock for Columbus School. So that login is different. So if you could kindly go on our website, there's a link that you can click on, that link that will take you to the reopening plan meeting relating to kindergarten. If I'm not mistaken, Ms. Engel, the 7 p.m. is Columbus. We have it, right? Correct. The other 4 elementaries are already done at 5:30. So please take a look on the website. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, Ms. Castillo, please.
No worries. Thank you, Dr. Kanjum. I just wanted to confirm the 36 and a half full-time employees that we mentioned in one of the slides. Is that a breakdown of the security guards per building?
Correct.
It was slide page 6.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
There was also mention of social media monitoring. Assuming this is obviously to assess any threats to our school community. Who monitors that and how often is that monitored?
Yeah, we subscribe to a service, and those alerts come to us, to the principals. Dr. Kane receives any of the alerts from any chat, but again, if any of those are closed private chats, we would not be getting that information, but to the extent possible, we receive it. And to be honest, although it's not too much, but the ones we have received has been helpful in helping and supporting those families.
And I just have another question. If there is an incident that leads to any action on, from the district, how is that communicated to our community, to parents specifically, right? Something beyond a lockdown, which is, routine, et cetera, but how does communication happen? How soon? Who does it? Robocall, text? Like, how does that happen?
I would say, Trustee Castillo, all of it, again, it depends on the nature of the incident. It really depends on where and how and when. Sometimes, after hours, school hours, or dismissal time, weekends. So again, different situations, but we try to do our very best to communicate. Again, we have to evaluate each situation to see who and how we want to be communicating. That's always a challenge, because of social media and information that comes through social media. But we do our best, again, with situational.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I have right now.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
No questions from me.
President Kite, there are no questions from the public other than that one community member who was logging in, and he said thank you, and he or she heading to the kindergarten reopening meeting. Yeah.
No problem. We communicating with. Good.
Mr. Kite is showing 3 Q&As.
No, that's the same one. The same
one?
yeah, same individual who said hello, and then wanted to know about the kindergarten, and then after we responded, he said thank you. So
Oh,
he or
okay.
she, I'm sorry. Okay. They just say owner. Okay, thank you. So President Kite, I suggest if that's okay with you, the plan still is on the website, and my request to the board, if we don't receive any other further information, is for the board to approve the plan at the next board meeting on the 26th. And at this time, we could close the public hearing, and then we can proceed to our regular board meeting. President Kite.
Okay, that's it. And we don't need a motion because we already know that it will be on the 26th, if I'm correct. So with that, I just need a motion for adjournment of our meeting, our public hearing meeting on the district safety plan. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Roberts, may I ask, I know there are many community members who have logged in. Do they all have to log out and log into new, or they stay and we go out and come back? Please explain.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Kunchum. For all of our community watching, this webinar will end, and I kindly ask that you join the link on the website right underneath the initial Zoom link. It's a different Zoom meeting, just for purposes that we needed some logistics. So the board meeting will begin immediately at the conclusion of this. So when we log off, I would ask the community, if you're able to, please join us for the board meeting on the separate link on the website, and it'll take us right there to the YouTube. Okay. All right. With your permission, Dr. Kunchum, I'll end this broadcast, and then I will bring this to the other meeting, if that's okay.
Yes, President Kite. Yeah. Okay.
We're ready. Yep. Thank you, Mr. Roberts. I
Okay.
think everybody will join us. So we'll leave. This one we've leaves. We've had our motion, and I'm waiting for you to get the all clear so that we can go to our action meeting.
Okay, wonderful. And to the board, I sent you an updated link. If you needed that access, that should be in your email also. So I'm going to end this, and I will see you shortly in the other meeting. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you.